Hello everyone, this is Rachel from sweetbeepaperco. I'm here with another masterboard video. Today I want to make two Christmas themed masterboards. I'm working on the two Christmas junk journals and I want to include some masterboard tags and make a masterboard pocket to put in each of them too. I thought I would also share a little bit of my process and thinking when it comes to doing a themed masterboard rather than maybe a generic that you decorate a little more for a theme later. So I've made a couple Christmas ones and I made a couple fall ones. So what I've got, a few things you're going to need is whatever you use for your backing. You can use a sheet of printer paper, vintage book paper, regular book paper. You can use any backing you like. I am using 8.5 by 11 cardstock, craft color cardstock I got at Michael's. I like using this. It's not super thick, but it allows a little bit of movement. You'll need some type of glue. I like using a glue stick for this project. I like this Scotch Create permanent glue stick. I've bought these by the box. I like having a ruler or another tear. If you have one of those textured tear rulers, those are nice to use. Some scissors, maybe. I usually am just using the ruler to tear, but if I go over the edges, I like having a pair of scissors to just trim everything off. I also use an old gift card to kind of smooth the paper out and we're kind of brandishing the paper and the glue to the cardstock, okay? So that will help really adhere, get into the fibers of the paper and really stick it on there. So I use an old gift card for that. Next, you'll need your papers. Usually I'll get a few full-size sheets of paper. So I'll grab some book pages I've torn out, some bigger book pages. I like having music sheets on there too. So these are going to be the main neutral background for my masterboard, right? So I'll have these big pieces and I'll be tearing apart these bigger pieces. And then I have my box of scraps. It's not just Christmas stuff in here, but like I've got these other music sheets that I ripped off from other projects. So I'll have a little bit different sheets from that. I've got some craft paper, other music sheet, other book pages, just some smaller pieces. And whenever I'm trimming any pages, I keep all of those little strips. Because if you have a line that's empty and you need to fill it up with something or something it just isn't meeting right or doesn't look right to you, you can use a smaller strip to kind of cover it up or bring more attention to that. Some coffee dye paper, and then I have just a ton of just little pieces in here that we could use if we need to. And then I have my bag of Christmas scraps, and then I've got some more over here. Everything I've made so far this year, everything that's Christmas related has gotten stuck in here. So for the fall ones, I used some stamps. One last thing to mention, I either use have a wet paper towel. I have a couple baby wipes and these are almost dried out. So I'll wet these a little more. Baby wipes to help clean up anything or get that glue off of your fingers. When I glue ripped up pieces of paper, I tend to get a lot on me. And then I use a magazine. I saw this in another crafter's channel. I try to remember to link it below. But anytime I go to glue, I put my paper on here, add the glue, and then glue it down because I want to make sure I'm going over those edges and I don't really feel like getting glue all over, even though there's already glue all over it. But this does help. So I save all of my magazines and use those. Any other scrap paper, I save those or mail to use to help cover my desk for when I'm gluing. So those are the things that I use. I am going to be adding my glitter spray stuff to the top of it. If you're curious about how I make those, I will include my videos below for the fall masterboards where I make my own concoction of them, and that has a link to the blog post that explains exactly how to make those. So I will start making one of these masterboards here on camera with you. So one of the things I'm thinking about are what Christmassy papers I want to use. The 2 junk journals I made have this paper. The other one has this paper on the inside. I want to incorporate these papers into this so it kind of goes along with the journal. I think that kind of, pulls everything together. It's always, I think, kind of hard to get started, especially when you're doing a themed one. But the first thing I'm going to do is kind of prepare this paper a little bit. I like this little character, or this illustration at the top. So I want to save this for something else. But all the pieces I'm ripping off, I'm saving for other places in it, but I want big chunks of the music paper to be on there. So I just get a few book pages also ready. Just getting those edges off. So when I'm looking at these two, one's definitely a little bit more warm toned with some warm tones on the wood background, and this one is a little more cool toned. So I want to kind of bring them together. This has got some red on there. I want to give a pop of color on these. So I'm going to look in my other scraps for some bright colors. You know what I think I'm going to do? I don't know. I'm not liking them together. So on one masterboard, I'm going to use the deer, and on the other one I'll use the sled. But I do want to use this red with this one. Do we like the green? I've got some thinner strips. Not quite sure I like that red with the other red, because this is a little bit more cooler. That kind of looks nice with the snowflake. So this is what I'll kind of do, just kind of go through my scraps, kind of find some pages that kind of look nice together, kind of coordinate well, even though these are all Christmas themed with red, green. Everything has its own tone because they're all from different collections. So this is out. I'm going to stay with these 4 for this one. Oh, we'll see about this plaid. I'm not feeling it yet. So let's get ready to start. So when I'm doing a themed one, I really don't glue as I'm going. I'll lay most of it out and then glue, because I know I'll have some 2-inch, I like doing 2-inch tags. So I'll have some tags cut out of this and pocket. So let's take this. I'm going to do just a thin tear here. Tear off this top. So then I don't know why, but I always start with the lower right hand corner. And another reason I don't like to glue right away is I want to see how I want to layer everything. So I like the scrapbook paper on top of the book paper here. So I'm going to leave that like that. This is kind of why I like having the music sheets, is it kind of gives you a little bit of contrast from book pages and writing. So then I just start laying some things out and see how I like them. Maybe we'll put this here. Ooh, this side is really pretty. So let's put this here. So see this small strip area? So I'll pick, after I get things glued, I'll probably pick one of these to fill in that spot. This will be pretty up here. This strip here, maybe that's a, not feeling that one. Like that. And I just randomly try things out. The more you just try to lay things out and just practice with it, I think it'll come easier. to you. Try not to be very particular. I think a lot of people do this too, but work from the outside in. There are no rules to this. You can do whatever you like, whatever looks good for you. I like to have some like book pages in between the scrapbook paper to kind of break it up a little bit. Also, don't be afraid to put your book pages sideways. Okay, I am loving this so far. I'm just looking in my scraps, kind of trying to find a few things to fill in some spaces. And there you go. I love how that looks. So what I'm going to do now is kind of clean. You can't see it. It's a little below it. I'm going to get this out of the way and then start gluing. Sometimes I'll take a picture of it before I start gluing. But yeah, so that's what it looks like right now. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get this glued. I'm going to make the other one and I will bring you back when I go to put on my glitter sprays. Okay, I've got both masterboards done. This is how the one with the sled paper came out. So pretty. And remember when I said you could take a picture? That way when you start gluing, if you get confused, well, I should have taken a picture because when I was watching a video and when I started gluing, I just wasn't paying attention. So this is how this one came out. It's a little different than what I showed you before, and that's all right. Next, I want to add some of my glitter stuff. Next time I make these, I'll make a definitely smaller batch because I don't know. Yes, I'm recording, honeybee. So now I'm just trying to decide which one I want what. I think, honestly, I think I want to do bronze on the sleds. And I think I want to do gold on this one. I think gold would look better. So these are in little dollar store shampoo bottles. So they don't have the little sprayer. So what I end up doing for these, dip and tap. And I've got paper down because last time it just goes everywhere. And I'm looking for those big dots. I want this to stand out quite a bit. So I just dip it in my sparkle water, tap it with my finger, kind of like if you're doing watercolor and you're trying to do some stars. But I honestly just like the look of it, just covering as much, and it will dry a little clearer than what we're seeing. But I like this already. I think it looks so pretty. These are so much fun to make. I think it's hard when you're making the masterboards, especially just a neutral one, and you want to decorate then, but the magic comes later. Bronze complete. Let me move it to a kitty safe place. Yeah, away from you. So bad. So this one has, I was just thinking I forgot to stamp it. The last couple ones I made, I used like background stamps, like script stamps kind of on them. But what I'm planning on doing with these are kind of going to be for people to put in the journals, decorate themselves or not. But yeah, they look so pretty already. So I like to let these dry overnight and just make sure all of that is dry before I start to cut them up and start messing with them. But yeah, that's what this one looks like. So I will see you tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. They're all dry. I wish I had a little bit of a brighter light to show you what they look like, but they look really good. So let's get these cut up. And we're back. All right, so here they are all dry. Today, I want to get these cut up and glue some of them into pages for pockets. So yeah, let's start cutting them up. Okay, so I know I wanted to do 2-inch tags. I'm just trying to make sure that's still what I want to do. So these are just a little bit over 11. That's kind of weird. Oh, I love these. Okay, and then my pages in those journals are 4 3/4. So I think if I do 4 1/2, I think I should actually do 4 1/4. Yeah, I think I'll do 4 1/4 for pocket size. And then for height, I think I want to do 2 1/2. I mean, it's a little bit smaller than the page, but that's kind of what I wanted, to keep it away from the edge there. Yeah, I think that size works out perfectly. So I'm going to get the rest of them and this cut out, and I'll bring you back and show you everything finished. Okay, so from the gold one, here are the 2 tags. This is the pocket. I had a bigger piece and kind of a smaller piece that could be another pocket. I decided to leave them and let whoever, you know, buys the journal decide what they want to do with them. If they want to use this as a big journaling card, another pocket, another tag or 2. I wanted to give them some freedom on what to do. I did punch this one with the ribbon tag punch. I thought I would let them kind of decide what they want. And then you saw the bronze one cut up, and then here's the larger piece and a little bit of a smaller piece for them to use, the 2 tags. So that's what's going to be included with the journals, and then what was left I'm going to use in my journals. There's 2 gold tags, 2 bronze tags, and then I'll have 2 pockets in mine. Yeah, I love how everything turned out with these masterboards. I love how they'll coordinate with the paper that I've used inside of them. So that's what this one in the poinsettia and the sleighs are in this one. But I hope you enjoyed the video of these Christmas masterboards. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.